And welcome to this week's What If. I'm late, I know, but it's still Sunday. It's still this week, so I can still do it and make it count. And this is the part 2 to the last What If I did, where the last What If I did was what if Goku was adopted by the Kents. Well, in this one, we're talking about what if Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman, was adopted by Grandpa Gohan. Now, to just clarify how these two scenarios work, basically, Saiyans existed in the DC universe and something destroyed their planet, and Goku was the sole survivor. That's it. There's no other Dragon Ball Z references in that storyline. Just that Saiyans existed. There's no Frieza, no Nappa, because it doesn't make sense because there's no Frieza, so there's no reason for them to be working, though you can make arguments like Darkseid and stuff, but we're not going with that. Same's going to exist for this. Kryptonians did exist at one point, but let's say Frieza blew them up and Clark's the only one who survived. And you might ask the question, well, how can that be if they're Kryptonian? Well, the Kryptonians had a red sun, and therefore they weren't much stronger than normal humans. They were not Superman. Superman is Superman because he absorbs yellow solar radiation. But they had a red sun, therefore it was red sun radiation. So, it would start off kind of similar to how it started off with Goku and Dragon Ball, is that Clark's ship lands in the countryside, Grandpa Gohan finds him. Difference being is that Goku was jettisoned from his spacecraft, Clark wasn't. So Gohan's going to actually find him in the spacecraft, and he's a smart guy. He's a martial artist, and he's got a lot of experience. I'm certain he figured out a way to bring him back to his place. He adopts Clark, and let's just say he calls him Clark in this case. And you would I'll call you Clark. Yeah, that's a dumb name. Anyway, let's say he calls him Clark anyway. So cut to 14 years later, we see Bulma looking for the Dragon Ball. Now, there's a lot that's different in this scenario. One, Clark's not as naive as Goku. Because Goku didn't have Grandpa Gohan there after a while after he turned Great Ape and killed him, so he didn't have him there to teach him about other things in life. It was pretty simple. Grandpa Gohan's, I'm going to say, is just still alive. He's old, but he's still alive. So, Clark's nowhere near as intelligent as he is in just in normal canon at this age and time with his folks going to a public school or anything like that. He's had basic tutelage from Gohan, but he's not dumb. He's just more simple. Not in the same sense that Goku's not dumb, he's simple. Goku is actually kind of dumb in some regards. He's smart in many ways, but he's dumb in many other ways. Superman just hasn't had enough experience with the outside world. He knows about it, but he hasn't had a lot of experience with it. Maybe once or twice he's gone into town with Gohan or something like that, assuming that they went into town. But anyway, so you have that. Also, he's far stronger than any normal human being. He's nowhere near the levels he would get to later on, but he's far stronger. Like, he can put a dent in a steel door, things along those lines. But his body's still soaking up and absorbing radiation. He hasn't discovered his real latent powers. He can jump really high. He can punch really hard. Maybe he's even developed his laser vision to a degree, but Gohan maybe chalks it up to a key technique he has. But another thing that's really important is at this point, Gohan's alive, so he's been able to, because Gohan's still alive, because Clark doesn't turn into a Great Ape and kill him. So he's been able to teach Clark his entire life. So Clark is a pretty good martial artist at this point. But anyway, cut to when Bulma shows up looking for the Dragon Ball. Let's say Clark is coming back home after catching a fish. Like what happened in the original series. And she pretty much hits him. Now, he's durable enough to tank that, and, excuse me one second. Oh, neck stiff. Get up and say, what's your problem? And I'm certain he would know what a vehicle is. I think that would be one thing Gohan, talks about and he finds out about in life. It's like, that's what a vehicle is. I think he knows that. So, because she pretty much ran him over without any regard, because, yeah, she did that too a little bit. He's preparing. He's like, whoa, I don't want any trouble. It's an accident. And then, Jay's, oh, well, sorry. And then, sorry. It looks like your vehicle says, well, that's okay. I have another one. And then she senses Dragon Ball's nearby. What? Dragon Ball? What are you talking about? Dragon Ball. And then he thinks about it, and then he realizes the Dragon Ball that him and the grandmaster. Oh, are you talking about an orange ball with stars? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, well, me and my grandfather have one. And she goes and meets Grandpa Gohan. Now, big key difference here is that there's no real struggle, I think, to get the Dragon Balls. Or get the 4-star ball. I think Gohan, Grandpa Gohan, and Clark are pretty like lenient about it. It's like, yeah, this is a very important thing to them. But unlike with Goku, it was pretty much he says like, that's my grandpa basically. It was all that was left of his grandpa, whereas this grandpa's still around. So I think it doesn't take much convincing to give it to Bulma. Now, does Clark go with her? I think so, because I think Gohan basically said, "This is your opportunity, Clark. Clark, go see the world. Oh, I'm an old man. I've seen the world plenty of times. I'll be right here when you get back too." And look, I'm not gonna say. Look, Roshi's over. We don't even know how old Roshi is. He's way older than what most people think. Hell, in like one fan made comic called Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball. Is it AF? Not AF. Dragon Ball San or whatever. Basically, where it was Goku Jr. Roshi was one of the it's like 100 years in the future. Roshi was like one of the only individuals still alive. Him and Dende. So anyway, yeah. So I think Gohan would still be around and kicking, assuming he survived to Z. He might even be around till then. Now, cut to their wackiest shenanigans and adventures. They would meet up with Oolong. That fight goes about as you expect, though. Clark's not going to disguise himself as a girl. He's just going to kind of beat the crap out of Oolong. Then Oolong comes to them. They run into Yamcha. Now, Yamcha, I think, is one of the first individuals who gives them a solid fight. I do think that Clark's just physically tougher than most humans on the planet. But he definitely, and we're talking about age 14 Clark. Let's be clear about that, too. If this was like age 18 Clark, I'd say he'd probably be stronger than any human, just human, on the planet. We're talking about age 14 right now. So, but his skill-wise, he's far more skilled than Goku actually was at that point. So he's able to hold himself off and fend off Yamcha until Bulma shows up. Cut to the whole boss carrot thing. That was weird. We're not going to get into that. And then we skip to the Fire Mountain thing. Or actually, we skip to the Roshi thing, because let's get that out of the way quick. Hey, they meet Roshi. He's got the flying Nimbus. Bum, 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 and all that great stuff. So most of the stuff is going to happen generally in the same way as it normally happens. But when we get to the Fire Mountain stuff, and him squaring off against the Ox King, he's unlike Goku. I think he's able actually to at least budge the Ox King and actually give him a decent punch. So when he maybe does like a strong fist to protect, boom, and he's actually maybe able to push the Ox King back a little bit. And the Ox King is like a surprise, but it's like, you're a lot stronger than you look. And then just swing back. Clark blocks it, but the Ox King I think is just physically stronger than Clark at this point in his life. So he's just, and he goes flying. But he's able to comes back with a key blast from his eye. Ox King blocks with his axe. Just, so they're squaring off, and Clark's maybe just a little huff and a puff. Just, this guy's tough. And then I can only imagine, and then he mentioned Master Roshi. That's my old unstoppable master. Oh yes, Master Roshi here. I'm ready to fight now. So Goku goes and gets Master Roshi. Or Goku goes. Clark goes, gives Master Roshi, meets Chi-Chi. Now, here's the thing. I don't know. Do we know how old Chi-Chi? Give me 1 second. They gotta say how old Chi-Chi was. If she was 14, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. There's no... Because look, Goku was short for a lot of reasons. One of the big ones was he didn't really have he was living... Bulma even makes a point in saying that... he was maybe a bit of a shrimpy, he was a bit of a shrimpy kid, probably because of his diet and things along those lines. But he quickly had growth spurts. If he were eating like normally, I don't think he'd be anywhere near that short. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, where did born? Let's see. Give me an age for Chi-Chi here. Okay, she was born age whatever age 337. Okay, when did she meet Goku? Because that's what her age would be. Okay, give me a word here. Okay, age 37. How old was she? Damn it. This is something that's gonna bother the hell out of me. Because let's be clear, Goku's supposed to be 14. He clearly looks younger than he is. I would call bullshit on anyone who Timer's death undone, revived. So let's see. She is at her oldest right now. Somewhere in, I think right now in Super, it looks like she's in her 40s, I want to say. Let's see, 30, 37. So, yeah, she's about 42 right now. So if we scale that back, oh yeah, it's looking like they're trying to make her out to be the same age as Goku was. I'm calling bullshit. She does not look like a 14-year-old girl at all. But whatever. Let's say, for sake of sake, she's 14. I have some serious qualms about that, but let's say she's 14. So, cut to that, and immediately, I don't think. Here's the thing. I actually don't think. I think throughout the time, just because Clark's a good-looking guy, I think Bulma would be having a little bit more flirtation with him. And while he would be, or to start with, he'd be a little oblivious to female affection. I think he'd pick up at a time and get to know Bulma a bit and start to kind of dig on her. There might be a little bit of a love triangle with Yamcha. Now we got a square with Chi-Chi. Because Chi-Chi again would probably dig on Clark, but I don't think Clark would dig on Chi-Chi. I mean, I think he'd find her a nice girl with the ability to fire a laser from her head and an axe from her head. So, laser beams attached to her head and an axe. So, or blade, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't see Chi-Chi as a person that Clark would find really, himself attracted to. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But let's say that I don't think he is. So they get Master Roshi, and then and then the fireman, and then Clark's like, wow, and Clark tries imitating that, and he can kind of do what Goku did, but I would imagine his ki manipulation isn't as impressive, at least not until he got older, because his ki is more solar radiation. I mean, it's metaphysical, it's life force, things along those lines, but when he fires his Kamehameha, it's actually more composed probably of solar energy than it is of actual ki at this point. Maybe a little bit of ki, but not because of Grandpa Gohan's teachings, but not of so a ki solar radiation. So I imagine the blast he did is stronger than the blast Goku ended up using the first time, that little small one. But so it wrecks the car more. It's like, it'll take you 50 years to master the Kamehameha. And it's like, 50 years? Whatever. So, cut to now, we'll get to the real peel-off arc, where, they get trapped. Now, the reason they were able to break out of that thing in the first place, that it was like steel walls and glass ceiling, was because Goku turned into a great ape. Now, Clark can't do that. And when the sun's not out, his solar radiation absorption is very limited, because the only solar radiation you get is from nearby from the stars in the sky and the reflection off the moon. But I think they would get out. I think Clark would feel himself actually tiring. Maybe he would. I think he could dent the walls, but that's about all he could do. But he would eventually use his wits and actually, pretty much put a lot of energy into attacking the glass ceiling, and I think he would break the glass ceiling. So they'd get out. They'd stop Pilaf's wish. Most comfortable pair of underwear, and then go. I think. That's when, Clark leaves and goes to train Master Roshi, meets Krillin. He and Krillin will eventually become buddies. They'll train. Nothing's really going to happen, and that's any different. Now, we cut to, let's see, where am I at for time here? Because this actually is going to probably be like a couple-parter video. I'm actually not doing too bad. I got like 6 minutes before I hit the 20-minute mark. I want to try to keep this video around 20 minutes. So, I think we can maybe manage all the way to the Red Ribbon Army arc. So, we're going to go to the Tenkaichi Budokai. And, the fights take place. Now, I believe, who did Goku fight originally in that one? I think he fought it was not Goku. Yamcha fought Jackie Chun. Krillin fought Bacterian. He fought the dragon dude. He fought the dragon dude. So I think Clark would pretty much take the dragon dude out pretty easy. But the dragon might have I can't remember his name, by the way. Dragon might get a hit or two. Then it goes to, I can't remember, he was the uh, the Buddhist looking individual. I can't remember his name. So the aerial attack. But I think at this point, he's trained, he's mastered his ki a bit better, and solar radiation, all that. He's a bit too durable for that to work. So boom. That being said, it would still hurt, but he'd be surprised when Clark suddenly just reels back and just boom, just smacks him in the jaw. It's like, oh, what? How did that work? And then but he's shaking it off. He's hurt. Now cut to the Jackie Chun versus Clark fight. Here we got some good stuff going on. Now this would be a pretty cool fight, I imagine. Obviously, Clark's got the physical edge. Even I think when Roshi goes like super buff mode, I think Clark has the overall physical edge still, but not by much at that point. But in terms of Roshi's just got the overall experience on his side. He's got multiple textures. You are a sleepy boy. Whoa. And actually, honestly, I think that's where he loses. I think once the sleepy boy goes down. No, don't get me wrong. They'll do a Kamehameha struggle, and you'll be impressed that Clark did that. But the reason that Goku was able to snap out of the sleepy boy is because Bulma said your dinner's ready, and Goku loves food. Clark, I'm certain, loves food, but nowhere near to that extent. So I think Clark loses that fight just kind of from techniques. And I think there'd be a lot of techniques that, like the paralysis technique, gets put into play, all that. But Chun just goes, "You are a sleepy boy," and then down. So yeah, Clark would lose the first World Martial Arts tournament, similar to Goku did, but Goku, I think, actually would. Goku's just more tenacious than Clark naturally is. Now, cut to the Red Ribbon Army arc. Now, I'll admit I can't remember all this arc verbatim, but I can remember a good portion of it. Now, I'm just going to go over the highlights. We talked about, I believe it was like General Red, the first one that Goku met. He beats his ass real quickly. Cut to General Blue, the blonde with that paralysis technique that Goku could manage to beat. That Tao killed with his tongue. That guy, I think, would give Clark a bit of trouble. But using a similar paralysis technique and having experienced that from Roshi, I think he could overcome that and eventually overwhelm him enough that they can make an escape. Then General Tao comes, the mercenary Tao, and their fight takes place. Now, is Clark strong enough at this point? Because Clark, I think, would be about 15 at this point. Be strong enough to take on mercenary Tao. And again, remember, I know Superman is immensely strong, but he's not Superman. He's Clark. And young Clark didn't have really any control over his powers. He had just enhanced physical ability, could jump really high and all that stuff. So, I think, therefore I am. Mercenary Tao is impressed with Clark, and is actually has to be a bit stronger actually go out a bit harder. But I do think he beats Clark, but not as badly as, say, Goku got beat. Then Clark, goes up the tower, meets Korin, trains, gets stronger, and then beats Tao pretty soundly. I can't remember a great deal of the rest of the Great Red Ribbon Army arc, if I'm to be honest. I remember Ader, in that thing would happen. But other than that, I'll be honest, I can't remember a great deal of the Red Ribbon Army arc. I remember most of the King Piccolo arc, and then the subsequent Budokai after that. So, seeing as we're at the 18-minute, 45-second mark, I'll end this off at the next Tenkaichi Budokai. So we cut to that. Now, it's gonna be you'll have Clark versus Krillin. I remember that. I know Goku fought Krillin. Can't remember who else Goku fought. But again, it's going to come down to Tien versus Krillin, or versus Goku, or Clark in this case. Now, this fight is going to be, again, this fight's going to be close. But if you're going to ask me who I think is going to win, I actually think Clark's the one who pulls out the win in this. I think it's going to be really, really back and forth. The Solar Flare is going to definitely put Clark in a bind, because it's going to blind, especially with heightened senses. But with heightened senses, he can also hear a lot better. So when Tien comes in for that attack, he's going to be able to react, just boom, boom, and then they're going to fight in the sky, and then finally, Kamehameha, boom. Well, let's say for the sake of sake, Clark doesn't win this fight either, simply because he does the same thing happens to him. What happened to Goku? He gets hit by a truck. Poor Goku for that. That sucked. Because he would have won that otherwise. Anyway, so we'll leave it at that for right now. The King Piccolo saga we'll get to later, and then all of Dragon Ball Z after that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic. Anything I do on the channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. Be back tomorrow with a who would win. And, subsequent stuff after that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.